Hello and welcome to another video. Are you a business owner or an entrepreneur and you're looking at some type of a sales or a CRM system for your business? However, you don't have a whole lot of time in order to be able to, or resources in order to do research and development on the plethora of tools that are out there. Today, I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of Close.io and what some of its strengths are, what some of its weaknesses are, and who it may be appropriate for and who it's not appropriate for, in order to be able to shave down a lot of that research time for you. So if you are unfamiliar with me or my channel, I am Tom Batman Ziegelbauer, and I help businesses and entrepreneurs scale through the use of technology. So we're just going to get after this and have kind of a conversation about it. So we are currently in Close.io, and we are making a transition out of Close.io to HubSpot, which I do another review on in another video. So if you're interested in that, please check out that video, especially if you're thinking about doing the transition that we're doing. So a little bit of history on the background of the company and why Close.io is the choice that we're currently in. So Close was chosen way before I came on board as CTO of 0%, and it's really kind of focused in on the entrepreneur or the entrepreneur or solopreneur. In terms of if you have one product, one sales channel, one pipeline, you don't need advanced reporting. It's probably for you, and it's pitched that way. And there are a lot of startups that use Close.io, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are happy with it. Day one of me coming in to the company, and actually negative like couple days, like as I'm interviewing, I'm told that their main problem in the company is reporting. Like the reporting is all over the place. So the person that set this thing up, I believe from the history of it, as I understand it, was sold Salesforce and Salesforce integrations and setups. And so he had a lot of hand on in terms of the setup of this thing. And they then were connecting a lot of automations through Zapier and tracking their sales in Google Sheets. We'll get into that why, because that kind of seems backwards to most people. And so I get into this thing, I start taking a look at it, and within my first week, I tell the kind of the head of sales, this thing sucks. We need to get out of here like immediately, and transition to something else. Well, you know, it works and da 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 da, and you know, downtime and this and that. Well, fast forward 6 months forward, and this is broken and that's broken, and it doesn't do this and it doesn't do that. We draw a line in the sand. Basically 6 months ago, and say, okay, the way that we're reporting, doing this Google data sheet thing, is not working. You have 6 inbound reps right now, and all 6 of them have a different process. So the data that's coming in is being reported out like 6 different ways, and there's no way to homogenize it or make it all the same. So I get together with the head of sales, and I say, okay, you and we're going to take 2 days. We're going to define the sales process in this and make it the same, and draw a line in the sand and basically go, okay, everything before this point in time is suspect. Going forward now is much better in terms of the accuracy of the reporting, and we actually will hold our salespeople accountable to a certain standard in terms of the data input or recording of their calls and their sales and how that data is entered. So we do all of that. So The reason why we were using the Google, basically a sale comes in and then we're pushing some data into Close and then we were pushing into the Google Sheets is because, and this is Close's fundamental flaw, and I think for Close to grow and scale beyond where they're currently at to envelop a larger customer base, they're going to have to fix this. Their reporting is horrible. Is horrible. There's no way to really manipulate the reporting part of their side of the Close on the inside of it. You can do some like smart views, which is like advanced reporting of saying, okay, show me how many clients do we have that we purchased a particular product in the month of blah, 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 blah. Show me all of those in a smart view. Okay, so that's kind of like a one-off, and you can run that, every so often. Or, hey, show me a rolling, these are clients that haven't been touched, no touch points in the last 3 days in order to be able to follow up with them so they don't go dry in the cycle. So there are some things where you can do these advanced reporting in terms of smart views, and then you can share them out with certain people. Pretty good in terms of that. However, then that is the next pain point is there were a lot of data types of things that we wanted to do in terms of business intelligence that Close just natively couldn't do inside of the system. So then I start the process, which was about a month of research to see, okay, what outside companies maybe have they partnered with in order to be able to tackle this problem. And there's two of them. Smart Reporting down in South America, Thomas Spada. Awesome guy. He will bend over backwards in order to win you over to their company. He basically built this system because he was a Close customer himself and said, hey, the reporting sucks. How do we fix that for ourselves? And so he went down the Google side of things, Data Studio first. That was really messy, and then he basically created his own thing. Pretty good. They're maturing along the way. Didn't have a lot of graphical types of interfaces, which was important to us in order to do pie charts and line charts and those types of report bar charts, those types of reporting. And so we went ahead with another group, Plecto, which is out of Denmark. We're in the United States, so we chose Plecto because of it's easier to set up, it's less a manual process. You can create some formulas and kind of set them up in these dashboards, and it's kind of set and forget it, and you don't have to spend a lot more time on it. However, this thing goes back to the organization of how Close is organized in the first place, which is another, if they figured this out, they could really be a competitor. However, as businesses scale and they need to have advanced reporting, this will absolutely kill them 100% of the time as companies grow to the size of 0%. So the way that their data set works is you have a silo of data, which is basically you have contacts or leads or contacts. And then you have another silo of opportunities, and then you have another silo of emails, and then you have another silo of tasks or something like that. So inside of Plecto, one of the downsides of it is you go, okay, well, I want to report something as simple as show me the lead source for all of the opportunities won for the month of March in 2021. You can't do it. You can't do it. And here's why. You can't, as close stands today, and they are changing this probably in June here of 2021, you can't add a custom field onto opportunity. So you can't put a lead source on there. Where can you put a lead source? Onto the lead as a custom field. So inside of Plecto, you can't cross-report. You can't go, okay, well, show me this lead to this opportunity and report across the two of those. You just can't do it. So there was like some manual sorts of things where we were putting sales data and placing it in a custom field on a lead, and then we could kind of report upon this. Messy. You can kind of do some of this also inside of Close itself. You can definitely do it inside of Smart Reporting .io with Tomas. However, it's a manual process. So if you have like a number of fields and a number of, say, reps, let's say you have 10 reps and you have 10 columns, that's 100 customizations of building that. And let's say now you have to basically build a dashboard. Now you have one of those reps leave. Well, now you have to rip all of that out. And let's say you add 10 more SDRs in a month. Oh my God. So now you got to do that all over again for all those guys. And again, Tomas, great guy. He will like, oh, I'll just do all that for you and I'll set it all up. Well, what if we need to change it? And like, you're sleeping. Or one of you guys is sleeping. Can't do that. Plecto's, their detriment as well is if I ever had a question with them, is I would have to get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to get their tech team in order to be able to ask them a question. Or if I'd ask them a question during, our waking hours, then it could be 24, 72 hour, 48 hours, 72 hours before they get back to me. And sometimes that stuff gets lost in translation, and now you're talking a week lost. And I'm just like, well, I'll just figure it out myself. And if I can't, I'll just throw my hands up and we got to do another thing. So that's their biggest down point. Strengths, they are really built around like simple teams and simple products. So if that's all you have, more power to you. If you're not going to grow beyond that, then this may be appropriate for you, or it may be a starter. For us, it just got to the pain point of it's not doing this, it's not doing this, it's not doing this, it's not doing this. Oh, hey, they added this new feature. I can't pull it into Plecto to report upon it. So I can kind of report upon it inside of Close. So we took it to the point, and Matt, our representative over there, Bonde, he a fantastic guy. I will say this about Close, their customer support is fantastic. He basically apologized to me when he found out that I was the CTO, is no one talked to them in terms of the setup. So they ended up having this whole process of setting this thing up, and they could have had some help to do so. So definitely take advantage of those services that they have there. They are super friendly, super helpful. So then we took this to the point, and I told Matt, we have basically bent the processes and systems inside of Close to make it do things that it was never meant to do before. We basically have taken this engine and gone, nope, we're going to make this V8 into a V12, and we're going to change everything out, and this is now the way it works, which is now creating issues for us when we're trying to migrate out, because here's all these things it couldn't do, we made it do it, and now we're trying to replicate those things in HubSpot. So that also is a challenge to now try and get that data out, and we're getting some help. So at the end of the day, how would I rate Close across the board? I would say they're an 8. They are definitely maturing as a company. They are a one-trick pony in terms of their sales CRM. There's not a lot of marketing that is tied into that. There's not a lot of these other things. They just want to do this one thing very, very well and slay that dragon and forget about the hordes of other people behind them that are coming to attack the castle. So rating it from like a usability standpoint, great. Our users love it. Our salespeople love Close. In fact, they are scared of transition. Everyone is scared of change. I don't care where you're coming from and where you're going to. So they're super happy with that. User interface is great. We built a process now where it's very easy to get somebody in and going. Does it work right out of the box? I would say no. You would have to do some customization in order to kind of mold it into your particular business. Is it extensible? Yes, they have lots of Zapier integrations that we have taken advantage of to connect up a lot of these services that we're consolidating down into HubSpot. Cost, a little expensive in terms of what you actually get. They do have a lot of features inside of it. They're, I think, going to run up against another competitor here really soon called Go High Level. And I just talked to the owner of that here the other day, and we may be partnering with them, not for us, for some of our clients to say, is Close the direction? Maybe, maybe not. However, if you can purchase this thing over here and it's a total of what their highest package is like $4.99, and you can have unlimited users in there, including all of your marketing people and all of your salespeople, and it has some better reporting inside of it, and they're making huge strides. They're basically they're not David and Goliath. They are basically giving the slings and the rocks to their customers to slay the Goliaths of the HubSpots and the Salesforces out there. So I really enjoyed my conversation with them. They're a great company, and I'll do a review of them as well in another video. So at the end of the day, if I had the choice with the size business that we have, would I have picked them my first day as CTO at 0%? No, I wouldn't have. I would have, and I told them, I said, we should look at HubSpot, or we should look at a Salesforce or something like that for a long-term strategy for our company. So hopefully this helps you and gave you some insight to Close all itself. The monthly cost for us right now is $145 per user, and so as you add more users into that, just kind of keep that in mind as you're thinking about scaling your business and whether this is a long-term solution for you. So hopefully this helped you. If it did, definitely hit those 3 buttons down at the bottom, like, subscribe, and alert, so you're alerted to additional content through my channel. And if you have additional comments about maybe your experience with Close or HubSpot or Salesforce or any other tools that you're using in your DevOps right now for your company, feel free to drop those down in the channel, and I would love to do another review of some of these services for the channel to give you some insight as to what I've done in terms of my research. So at the end of the day, remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and we will see you on the next video. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching.